Hello, this is a video where I'll be showing you how to do breakdowns of other people's design, and I think this is a great exercise to get your foot into the design, and this is sort of a master studies sort of thing if we compare it to the painters. So let's get started behind this. And I will be talking about those terms, rules, whatever, and those are just design things we use to make our design better and some guidelines. And if you want to learn more about them, I would highly recommend those two tutorials. One is Visual Design Basics by Alex Essential, and the second one is Tech Tips Series Essential 1 to 3, and I think there's Intermediate 1 and 2. So let's get started. I will be starting with those ships. I'll be going over characters and also props. First off, I would say that you most likely want to start with a primary shapes of those design, because if we know primary shapes, it will be extremely easier to assume what the designer had in mind when he was creating. I'll be doing those, let's say, one ship from this, then this, and you will have some homework to do, and you will be doing those two for yourself. So let me start with a yellow ship. And I would say that this is not the hardest thing to do because we are just using primary shapes like boxes, cylinders, and spheres. I think that's all of them. So I'm just judging. This would be one. Then there's this more complex shape, but I will just make it into a box because that's what I see is that. And there's another box. Whoops, there's cylinder. That I drew wonky, but who cares? And there are those two boxes right here. Now finish drawing of it. Bam, 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 and it's done. And of course, other side too. Something like that. And there's this box to end it off. As you can see, those primary shapes aren't the same sizes. This big cylinder is bigger than anything else. Let me change the color so you can see it better. This big cylinder is bigger than those 5 boxes combined. So there is a hierarchy to them. And now I will try to look for big, medium, small in this design, which is basically a 70-30 or yes, 70-30. Let me pull up this, and I will be deconstructing those primary shapes into a big, medium, small, So to start with cylinder, I would say there's this group. Maybe I will change to red. There's this group of details. Then there is this pipe that goes right here. No, there's more details right here, and there's this big thingy. And of course, these those jets, engines, or whatever. No, they're rocket engines, sorry, or whatever the hell they are. And I would say, as you can see, we can see that again, those aren't the same sizes. This yellow structure right here is probably the big shape of this. As you can see, it's cut right here, so there's again another structure which is 70-30, but I will be treating it as one big structure. Then I would say the biggest one in this area would be probably this whole strip of gray color, because there's out of repetition right here, and I feel like John wanted to give it more attention to the viewer and weight, as I would call it. So this is big, this would be medium. Then there is this pipe is small, and those engines are also small. And there's this part, but honestly, I would add this part to this box part B, because it looks like there's this whole group of details right here, and there's another one here. So let's do that. And now we have small. See that? I hope so. Okay, this works now. So we have this purple, then we have changes to do, because I think personally I would make it like this. So those, I'm not sure what this is, but this is some wing part, isn't part of this group. This is big, and this is actually small, medium. Those two are kind of similar, so it doesn't matter. We just need to know that there's a hierarchy going on here. If I do it like this, now you can see that this is way smaller and this is medium. Then we have those wings. There's one group, that would be medium, and there's a second one which is small, and there's this less detailed part which is big, and that would be it for this design. Now I'll be going to Darren design of this ship, and again primary shapes. This one is more easier because there are only two. There's only this half circle and this taper box. So it's tapered. Just those two. And with that, we have this out of the way. Again, first thing that catches your eye is the distribution of the colors. The ship is mostly white, so white is big, blue is medium, and the dark is small. You know, there's more going on with color, with composition, but we are just focusing on this design of the ship. Then I would probably look out for in this design is that this area is simple and the rest is really detailed with all of those pipes going on and other details. That's not some good color for this. Now this works. I would probably split it like this. Of course, if we take our ruler or whatever you want and we split it like this is 30 and this is 70 of the whole length of the ship. So there is a rule that I talk about. The next thing that I would love for you to take away from this design is that there is this nice framing going on over this circle, framing going on of this design. What he did there is he made a circle, and when he was adding those blue pipes, he made them so they are resembling this circle-like shape, so the circle feels way more natural, and we are creating a point of interest because we have this dark part, sorry, on this white background, let's say, and we are calling a lot of attention to it. Yeah, even if we, this is the biggest black part in this whole design. Those might be bigger, but the thing is, those I don't know what this is. This part is meshing with the background, and this is a black part on the white. As I call it, so it stands out more. Now those two you have to do yourself. That's your actual step. Now the next thing would be this. I think it's called Marauder by Jason. In characters, I will probably look out for anatomy in them because a lot of designers follow anatomy. Well, it makes sense, we can play off a lot of stuff like rib cage or shoulder, like this shoulder part. Then again, I would probably try to catch what is the first thing that catches your eye from the back view. I would say it's definitely that those legs, not eggs. I'll be having eggs in a bit, so my mind just thinking about it. And now this shoulder, maybe, well, let's add this thing here. This shoulder, and there's another shoulder, and this section is big, then we have medium, and then there is small and another small, and the skin part is just something so our eye doesn't go here. And you want to create hierarchy within your design, because if we do that, our brains have really easy time understanding it. If you look at the trees or leaves, it's really hard to see each one of them. Our brain just renders as a one big noise, and you don't want that. And also, if you add tons of details to design, your eye will have no idea where to go. So let me start with those legs, and I would say this under this, I think this leather part has to be like biggest known detailed part. Of course there's this crotch area that has some kind of detail, but I don't think it's that visible. Then there's this something that I have no name for. Then we have those boots, those big ass boots. Let's outline them. Those boots are also like you could go and structure this further like this. There's big, medium, small. You can go infinitely if you want to, and that's good practice. Then this chest plate part, I would say this is something like this, and there's a small part that has no details, and this hand that I would probably do it like this. And then again, we have small. I would call this one big because there's this red circle on his heart. There's this medium and small, And then there's another shoulder pad, which is basically, we could just go like this, that there's this smaller part right here, this one rib, and there's this bigger rib, and this is, 70 and this is 30. This part again, this is more detailed, this is less detailed, this is big, this is small, perfect. Then there's this head. Now with this one, let me look at this. This one I'll probably just divide on the organic part, like those horns and skin, and this what's called this thingy on his mouth. So small and big, and now this works. And of course, there's this strap that divides the, let me tell you, that the divides this back into a really nice section. If you look at from this side, we have big, medium, and there's another medium, and there's small. So even if you add something like that, you always want to think about the proportion, because they are really important in making a really good design and structuring it. Do I go with back? Maybe not. There's too many designs. Okay, let me do this character from Look, and I choose this one because I think that this has really nice proportions, and it will be extremely easy to structure it. Let's start with, I'll probably add arm like one shape, then there's a circle right here, then there's this whole armor. It doesn't matter. I was thinking right here if this arm goes to chest plate area or leg, but if I squeeze my eyes, it doesn't matter, I would say. You just add it right here. Those boots are split into those two areas because of color. Bam, bam, bam. There's this tool thing or grenade, I'm not sure. And there's this cloth, of course, and it's split into a two. There's bigger, there's smaller. Let me do that because it's really nicely done. Then there's this neck area that I will redo. And with this one, this white and this grayish color is probably big one. Let me change my brush size. This is probably big, and this is smaller. Sorry, this is medium, and then there's this golden or this yellow thingy, which is small. Well, it's hard to get in here. Okay, let me take it as that. Of course, there's more stuff like that. There are eyes and such, but I won't be getting into those. And again, the black is primary color. Then there's gray, and then there would be, I would say, yellow, but then there's this. So again, I would say the black is primary color, then there's the gray and the yellow and this really desaturated red, this small one. And there's what's the name of this color? Orange, that is also small, but it's made so there's something standing out, so we look at this smaller figure that is human. So I can do that, obviously. This is big, and this human is small, of course. There's part connecting, so it's easier for our eyes to look at it, or I would assume so. Is there anything more to dissect from this design? Of course, there's this, again, on the hard area. This hand area is, again, big and small. And with those, we have, with this pug area, those, I would call them grenades. Those grenades are big, they are small but detailed, and then there's this pug cloth thingy, let's say, area, which is smaller. And we have this this cloth that goes right here. This pelvis, which is split into a smaller and bigger with this grayish. This, I would say, is done. And now I will go over the last designs of Darren. And as you can see from the same word of this ship, so white is the dominant color, then there's blue and black. He changed anatomy, which is, you're free to do, and he did an amazing job with that on this hand. And so we have to respect that this hand is different, but it has the same, I would say, principles, because there is a shoulder and there's a elbow somewhere right here. Let's go over the design. If you make a design of something, it's really helpful for you to put details where two things connect, like this foot and this leg area. I would probably start with colors, but it's not needed, I would say. This is 70, this is 30. And then those three are the biggest blue section. Then we have this shoulder thingy and the fingers and the back of this box. Then I would probably go with this arm, because it looks nicely done. Something like this. Okay, now I would say that this simple area is the non-detailed one, which is, I don't know, it has less visual weight. And then this shoulder thing is really detailed. So I could call it detail and non-detailed, but that's probably not the right thing to call it. So let me just call this non-detailed area big, and this would be medium, this thingy with a lot of pipes, or I don't know to call them. And then those circles would be small. The back of the hand, it's probably the same. This simple area is, in this view, it's actually medium, and this detail area is big, because we changed the view. Next thing, I would probably break down the one leg, because there's no need for two. Okay, there's this pelvis thingy, which would be medium. Same as, I would say, same as with the hand. This is a big, this simple area. Then we have this medium. Of course, I'm judging them of the size, but if we were calling of the visual weight, it would be, this is small and this is big, that our eyes just go here to this area because there's a lot of details. But if we put a lot of details all over the design, our eye will have no idea where to go. So it's really important to make hierarchy. Let me do this. This is medium, then there is, I would say this is small, again small, and this can be medium and this can be small, and this doesn't make a difference. Now with this character, this chest, I would say there is one part. Let me change the color because it's getting overwhelmed for me, and I bet for it too. I would say now there's this abs area, and then we have separation from the circle. This is important. I will say why later, and later is now. So why is this circle important? Because this is small circle, this is medium size pipe, and this is big size head. Also, I hope. And then I would probably, personally, now I will probably, based on my observation, just split it like this. This is detail. This is detail, and this is this. This whole thing is non-detail. Of course, this is detail, but there's less visual noise, and I think that's because we want this head to stand out. And even if I make this, oops, no. Okay, even if I get rid of details, it's the same thing, I would say. See, now this head stands out even more, but those pipes make sense because this is the visual shape language of this character and of this universe. Now I will go to the second one. this little boy. Again, the sorry, wrong color. Again with the colors, this is big, this blue is big, this is medium, this is small, and this is even smaller. So you don't be bound to only big, medium, small. You can do big, medium, small, smaller, smaller, and go into infinity. But be careful, don't do like 60 and 50 because it's kind of hard to differentiate them. Okay, let me go with this hand. I don't see a finger here. Probably, yeah, it's blocked. I think it's here. Okay, let me start with this hand. Bam, 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 bam. And something like that. We have detail on the connection, which is a wrist of our, arm and the hand. And there's this elbow area when we have some sling and a, elbow. Put some details where things meet. So this would be this elbow area and this wrist area where two things meet. And there's of course hierarchy, which is big, and I would say medium, medium and small. And of course this hand, this is small, and this is going more and more. Shoulder area, and I would say it's something like this. So we have big surface right here, then the medium is here, there's another medium, then there's small, then there's small, smaller, and smaller, right? We go deeper and deeper. Then it's hard to do legs because it's hard to see them from here, but as you can see, our arms translate to the other side the same way, right? This is big, this is medium, and this is small, and this is medium. Now with this body, can we see it from another side? No, I would probably need to. There's not much to say, I think. But it's hard to. Yeah, that there's backpack on it, so it doesn't help. But I would say that this area, from this view, this blue area is big, and this is medium, and of course there is a small. But from the back, I would say that the white is actually big. Change the size. Can you see it? Somehow I think, and this would be big, and this would be a medium, or 70-30. If I say big and medium, and then there's no other thing, then I just mean that big is, big is 70, and medium is 30. So that's basically it. Okay, I'll be going over the image and designs of those two props. Again, with the primary colors, or you can do those the primary shapes if you want to do of all of those. Be my guest. But with colors, the white is the biggest. Bam, 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 bam. The black is the medium one. Oops. And the yellow is the smallest one. And I also want you to, okay, let me not delete it, but hide it. Pay attention to his lines. As you can see, this is small line, then we have this big line, and then we have this medium line. So again, this is big, this is medium, and this is small, That's the thing you want to always pay attention to. With further deconstruction, this would be 70, and the rest would be 30. The rest of the white, of course. There's 30. It will be this is big, this is medium, and this area is small. Because I said so. And then we can go further, and this whole area, this is small. There's some framing right here. And, oh, sorry, this is medium actually, and this part is small. With this, it's a little harder because it's more of a metal one, and I have no idea what is happening here. But I would say that this is big, this is medium, this is small, and there is this whole thingy, and you know there's this slice or this cut right here. So you know we have 70-30 of the whole thing right here. This is 70 and this is 30, of course. This is more like 90 and this is 10. Now with the yellow part, it's probably like this. This is medium, this is big. I'm sorry, big, and there are few small. Is there anything more? Even if you look at this green one, I don't think so. So let's go to the last one. And with this one, I picked this one because this yellow and this cyan and this green one are really similar in weight. And I love this one. So let's get started. Zooming out first, and this is primary. This is primary. This is big. Then I would say this black part. Let's just highlight, outline this one, and not go and not go too far with those details. So this would be medium, and then we have two small. Okay. BSM. Let's go with this white one because it's the simplest one. Well, now this white one, I would just say that it's probably like this area. Sorry, this area. This why isn't okay? This area here is big. It's saving. Sorry. Then this, where are those lines? This is probably medium, or this is small, whatever. And then we have this cut, or then we have this cut, or this is a black part. I'm not sure. If we delete this, pull this up, or just make a new layer, and let's go with this black one. And I think it's done like this. It's split like that. At least it seems to me. It might be different to it. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, I would say it. So this is big, and you know this is 70. This is 30. Or let's go right there too. So we go more in depth, not in depth. Sorry, I have with accent. This would be big, this would be medium, and this would be small, or something like that. And then with this green one, I would just say that this is probably 70-30. That's a simple one, but there's a lot of details that are hard to come up. So, you know, it doesn't mean that this is simple. It just means that there is simple differentiation line between them. And with this yellow one, let me. Well, there's something right here. looks like it's a big, medium, and small like that to me. Or or I would just leave it as a big yellow thingy. I would say that would be it for all of those. Let me pull up all the layers so we see the visual vomit of it. And I'm not sure I have some min. I'm not sure how long it took me, but honestly, it's really good practice to do few of them a day if you're starting out. Of course, you don't have to uh, diversify your studies like this. You could only make studies of one artist. Like if you really like image design, just do him every day. That sounds weird, but just study him every day, and that would be perfect for your growth. Yeah, I think that would be it. Be sure to check out all those artists, give them a follow and like, and take care, guys.